And I am actually live. Question, why am I going live? Back in 30. Good morning. How are you? This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. And I am actually live. Why? Because I am testing my laptop version of going live. This may have a couple of mistakes in it because I'm not quite used to getting around this thing completely. But I want to welcome anybody new here. And if you are a veteran here, thank you. So nice of you to stay here continuously, loyally. Thank you so very much. I appreciate everyone. And if you just drop me by one time, perfectly okay. Thank you so much for that. So what I'm going to do, today's show is basically about two beautiful recipes, of which I'll get the thumbnail up later, if all goes well. And the recipes are for my mother's favorite meatballs that I used to make for her. Okay. Now, a long time ago in the past, I had, given that recipe. But since there are a whole bunch of new subscribers, new viewers, and stuff like that, I thought I'd mention it. Not to mention, or well, actually will mention, her favorite banana cream pie. Now, in some places across the country, you could spend a lot of money on banana cream pie, okay? And it's the simplest thing to make, and especially that it is no bake, okay? And you can get creative if you don't like working with sugar, for example. You can use sugar-free cookies as your graham cracker crust, for example, or sugar-free Jello instant pudding, but we could get into that in a minute. How's everybody doing today? You want to hear the craziest thing? I got so mixed up with this. I attempted to make a cup of coffee before, and now it's all the way in the kitchen just sitting there. So I don't have my coffee with me. Oh, well, wish me luck. By the way, the weather's looking a little bit hazy, feeling a little humid today. And the actual time, well, actually, now you know because it's live, 7:23 in the morning. And it is so nice to be back here live in actuality. Actually, it's been a while, right? Okay. There was a time that I conducted an experiment, and this channel went live about, well, it was supposed to be for 2 weeks. Then it graduated to a month. Then I think we ended up at either 2 or 3 months. It was a very long time. And I used to come on about 6:15 a.m. every single morning. No, not every single morning. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sorry about that. And then on Sundays, 8 o'clock. That was a fun experiment. It really was. Okay, so let's see. Let's go over first to that banana cream pie recipe. It's so easy. My mom loved it. You can make your own graham cracker crust. I know that many folks know how to do that already. Or you could buy the pre-made, make your life a little bit easier, already done up for you. What you need are 2 ripe, but not overtly ripe bananas, just ripe enough. 2 bananas. You're going to cut up just one first. Have those little thin slices. You're going to place those slices over the graham cracker crust. Then what are you going to do? You're going to take 1 box of Jello vanilla instant pudding. You're going to make that, but you're going to cut back on the ingredients. The ingredients normally calls for 2 cups of milk. No, for the pie recipe, you're going to put 1.5 cups of milk to give it more of a pie filling feel. Going to put that, after it's complete, going to put the pudding on top of the bananas. Okay. Then what are you going to do? You're going to get more slices of the banana on the second banana, cover the pudding. And then finally, you have the option to either use a non-dairy whipped topping. But what we always did, we used fresh whipped cream. And if make your fresh whipped cream the way you prefer to make it. But the easiest way that we did it, I used to take a pint and I used to take 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar and 1 capful of vanilla extract, and then just whirl that up into stiff peaks. Then I would dollop that on top of the pie. And you have a very reasonably done pie. So, so good. Now, getting back to people that want to modify it for less sugar, you could, if you're on a lower, not low, but lower carb plan, put no sugar in the whipped cream because there's virtually no carbs in the actual heavy cream. So there you're saving. Use sugar-free pudding in your ingredient recipe and either omit the crust or just make like a modified version with sugar-free cookies, or just crash. Listen to me. I need my coffee. Or just crush up a couple of cookies on the bottom and just put everything over it. And there you go. You see, you can modify things. There might be a comment. I think there's one. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to get remember, learning curve. There you go. Good morning, Frugal Queen in France. And I thank you for your input. And thank you for all of your great comments. I really, really appreciate you. I really appreciate everyone. But everybody takes the time, to do this. This is just, thank you so much from me to you. There you go. Next, the meatball recipe. Okay. My mom really, Mother's Day coming up. Of course, I'm going to be thinking, I always think of my mom. But with Mother's Day coming up, and it's only the second Mother's Day without my mom, it's still like, is that little abrasive feel to it. It's like, but I'm so, so grateful. I'm so, so grateful that I had my mother as long as I did. To have a living mother up to 61 and a half years old is very, very blessed. Very blessed. But I miss her. I'm a human. So I said, you know what? Let me make a couple of her recipes. It'll just, actually, I always made them, but she liked it that way. So I call them her recipes, but it's really mine. Hey, more comments. Let's see. Good morning, Jane. Jane Tones. Yes, you miss your mom too. Yeah. It's a bittersweet time, right? We miss them. We know we appreciate them. It is. It just is. Who loves banana cream pie? I'm still trying to work this thing. So if your comments aren't showing, forgive me. Okay, it's a lot different than when I did it on a tablet, really kind of like weird. Like, where are my comments? I want them to show. I'm pressing show. There you go. It should show. You love banana cream pie. Yes. But what I didn't like was once somebody brought me one and they paid nearly $20-something for it. And I'm like going, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm thinking, I'm listening to that register ringing in my head, thinking, oh, you didn't have to. I really kept saying, you didn't have to. You didn't have to. I felt bad. I actually felt really badly about this. Okay. There are 2 versions to my Italian meatball recipe. One you can fry in a skillet, of which you will see today, later on, after this thing is over. I'm going to hook it up in my thumbnail. My actual meatballs in a skillet frying. Okay. Or you could do the oven fry version, which is very, very, very simple. So that's important to know that we have these options. Okay, so what you're going to need is, this is my favorite, but of course you could swap it out for your favorite. I love ground sirloin. I think it makes a better taste in ingredients and in recipes. My opine, but use what you have. Don't drop everything you have in the freezer and run out and buy ground sirloin. If you have regular ground beef, you use that. Work with what you have. I am a huge fan of that. Work with what you have and what you like. Maybe you don't like ground sirloin. Maybe you prefer the other way. That's fine. Okay, so basically you're going to take a pound of the ground sirloin, and you need 1 egg, beat it up. And because I've done it so many years, I eyeball it. You know what I'm saying? I eyeball it, but for recipe purposes, so that you guys get it. Okay. You're going to need 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. It doesn't have to be the fancy one either. It doesn't have to be Reggiano. It could be the one you got from the grocery store. You know, the one in a can. Works just as well. You need 3/4 cup of Italian seasoned breadcrumb. Personally, my favorite, 4C Company. Yeah, that's very, very good. You're going to need, in addition to the 3/4 cup, a separate 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. Hold it to the side, and I'll explain why later, because most people don't do what I do, and that's the secret to my excellent meatballs. Just saying, just saying. 1 teaspoon of or either chopped garlic or 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Some people don't care for a chopped piece of garlic in their face. You know what I mean? They rather have the garlic powder. They like the flavor. They don't like the chunks. So if you don't have garlic, work with the garlic powder. Okay, want to make sure. 1 teaspoon or more, because I like it. You might go even a little bit more than that, of dried parsley flakes. Better still, if you happen to have fresh parsley, yay. Cut that up, to what you like. Sprinkle it in. Yippee. Yum, 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 yum. I love parsley. You got to be, here's the secret. You must be generous with parsley and cheese in these recipes, okay? You have to be generous. If you're going to be cheap about it, it doesn't work out. This is one time saying, like, don't be afraid to use it. Just saying, just saying. So you're going to mix all the ingredients together. You're going to get either an ice cream scoop or an actual tablespoon like you would use at the table, so that you make equal measure of the meatballs. Roll them up. Here's the secret part that most people do not do. Do you remember that I mentioned to get 1/4 of breadcrumb put on the side? Roll those meatballs that there's a coating on the outside to give that little bit of crispiness there. Yum. And it helps seals in the juices. That's the frying method. Everything is exactly the same for the oven method, except one thing. You're going to take a capful of either olive oil or vegetable oil. You're going to include it in your meat mixture. Why? Because when you bake it off in the oven, it's going to give it that frying taste effect without frying. And let me tell you, all you have to do is heat up your oven, preheat to 350, and then you let that bake off 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. How easy is that? I have to tell you a little quick story, if you don't mind. Years and years ago, when I was watching my stepsons, they're now all grown up and everything, and my actual daughter, they were playing video games, and I said, I'm going to make meatballs. Yay, yippee, okay. But what they didn't realize, and I should have made it clearer, was that they were for dinner. So I stepped away after the meatball. These meatballs are so good, you can eat them independently. Just sprinkle a little salt on them when they come out. Well, it's still warm. If you like salt on them, a little, not a lot. And then I turned my head around. They were eating them like popcorn. Nothing, no bread, no sauce, no nothing. You do as you want with it. You can make meatball parmesan, Sub-Hero, put it with spaghetti, or just as it is. Lesson learned. If there are kids in your life with this meatball recipe and you make it just the way I say it, I mean it. Make sure you separate them and put them away for your dinner. So lesson learned. Thankfully, I had all the ingredients again to make another batch. I was flattered, beyond flattered. But, I never tried it with ground turkey, but I would imagine that you could use it with the ground turkey. Okay, so I guess that this laptop version worked out well. Thank you very much, Frugal Queen in France, for letting me know the how it was coming across. I really, really appreciate you. And I really, really appreciate everyone. Just want to wish everyone a wonderful upcoming day, whatever you do. I hope you manage to get the things done that you want to do. Don't forget to play a little, work a little, and every once in a while, give everyone you can a hug, whether it's a virtual hug or a hug. Can't wait for that day when we could do hugs a little more often, right? Right. Have an amazing day, everybody. I'll see everybody again when? Real soon. Take good care now. Bye-bye. I'm still running live. This is fun. This is what I mean by the joy of live broadcasting. Hey, by the way, this gives me a chance to say hello to Jane. Jane, again, have a wonderful day. And to some of this doesn't come up, and I'm so sorry. Okay, let me see what's going on with this. Somebody beginning with the name TOTA. You know what's going on? You know those notifications on the bottom right corner? I have to go back to settings and get rid of that because the notifications are covering up some people's names. But anyone who made a comment, I do see that you have. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Now we'll try this again with end broadcast. Have a blessed day, everybody.